Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. Today I have a book haul. Over the last couple of weeks I have been sent and also purchased a couple of books, and I don't know when the next time I'm going to get enough books together in one shot to discuss with you guys a load of incoming stuff coming into the house. So I thought that I would just start off with some stuff that I was sent very, very kindly by a friend, and then we'll go into the book that I bought, and then finally we'll go into the latest book from Page Wick, the super fancy special edition subscription box that I am using at the moment. So let's start straight off with the books that I was sent. So my friend Mare, who I met through Andrew Watson's Discord, sent me a book that, so basically we have been chatting back and forth about Wheel of Time, and she was saying that she wasn't hugely into it, and she had a copy of The Shadow Rising. And obviously, as you guys know, if you've been following the channel, Shadow Rising is the next book that I need to read. So she popped me a copy in the post. I'm genuinely really excited to read this one. I actually already talked about this book on my Friday recap last week, but it's a really nice edition of the book. It's very funny because this is the longest book in the series, and the pages, you can't tell on the camera, I know you can't tell, but the pages are like Bible paper thin. And even though it's the same size as other books in this edition of this series, so this kind of photo cover, this is by far the longest, and they've done it purely by just making the paper thin as fuck. So very excited to read this one. I am currently reading Partial Function by J.C.M. Byrne, but as soon as I finish that, I'll be reading this. Hopefully I'll have actually finished reading Partial Function by the time you guys even see this, but can't confirm 100%. So yeah, this is my next fantasy read after Partial Function, which I actually thought was sci-fi, but it's feeling kind of Western martial artsy, sort of like a mishmash of those genres, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But I'll update you guys on that when I actually finish it. So, in her incredible generosity, Mare also sent me The Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. So this is a book that I don't think I've ever spoken about on the channel, but I was planning on reading this in May, so that I could read the next one, the book 2, which is called Griever's Curse or something like that, in June, and then the finale, the final book, when it releases in July. So basically my plan was read one a month leading into this final book if I like this first one. So first off, look at the flop. Look at it. We love a floppy paperback in this house. And I genuinely had been really looking forward to this one and like super interested in this. Oh, she wrote me a little note. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even see this because literally this arrived as I was leaving the house. So she's written me a lovely little note just saying, thought this would be your cup of tea. And I also think that, which is why I had been planning on reading it anyway. Well, Richard Swan has done a blurb on the front. There's a lot drawing me into this one. So, would you like to know what this one is about? So would I. I know a small amount. So essentially, the way that this works is, in this universe, instead of countries going to war and fighting army to army, what happens is they basically have like a champion, and the champions fight, and then everyone kind of abides by the results of that fight. And as far as I'm aware, the main cast are all people who are like training to be future champions for their country. So something I'm super excited about. And as I've said, I don't like to look too much into books. So basically that's what I've garnered from other people talking about the book on BookTube. Really excited for this one. It's actually quite short, which is nice. Like it's about 400 pages. Fondly blurb on the back as well. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a real win for me as a Fondly and a Richard Swan fan. Yeah, just looking forward to reading this one. Lovely edition with this whole floppy. Yeah, looking forward to reading this one. If I do enjoy this, I will be picking up the 2 sequels as well. Next up is the first book here that I've actually bought for myself. So last week, as you guys know, if you watched the weekly update, I was on holiday in Cornwall, which is the boot of the UK, the very bottom left. And I was pretty far down, actually, like only half an hour's drive from Land's End. And when we were there, we went to a load of lovely, lovely independent bookshops. And I browsed all of these bookshops, fantasy and SF sections, and found so many incredible books. But one of the big things that I want to do is to try and make sure that I'm only buying books that I'm going to read soon, or that I know 100% I'm going to want to read in the next couple of months. And I actually had a lot of those books already. But the one book that I didn't have was my Wheel of Time book for May, The Fires of Heaven. So I know nothing about what goes on in this book. I just know that it's another Wheel of Time book. I want to point out the incredible flop on this edition. This one is the floppiest of all the editions. It even balances while open. You can literally just put it on a cushion and read and not have to hold the book. And I'm not like one of those people who's like, oh, I'm mega lazy, I don't want to hold the book. But like, it's kind of nice when you're reading a book like a Wheel of Time book and you're going to be reading it for like 4 hours, to not have to physically hold it in your hand. So yeah, this edition is the edition that I love. I have found there's actually a couple of printings of these. So the ones where it has this fake sticker on the front are actually a little bit stiffer. So, I mean, they're all good, but these ones where it has the sentence along the top, these are the edition that I love the most. These are the ones that are the floppiest. And I don't know, just really, really love these editions. I also like the colour of the paper. I've noticed the colour of the paper is like a lighter, this sort of colour grey, whereas the fake sticker edition is has more of a yellowing tone to some of the covers, spines and pages. The one thing as well that I have I wanted to say about these as well is, as everybody hates the as seen on TV covers, right? But my philosophy for Wheel of Time is that I'm pretty certain I'm going to reread these books. It might be a decade away. It might be rereading them with my son when he's a teenager or older or something like that. But because I'm pretty certain I'm going to reread these, I've decided to collect this specific edition. And the reason I've decided to collect this specific edition is because I don't want to I want to have a matching set, and these seem to be the most popular. But also, I don't want to have editions of these books that are paperbacks that I'm like, oh, I don't want to crease them up too much, or I want readers' copies. And so that's what my philosophy is with Wheel of Time, is that whenever I see a copy of the next 1 or 2 books when I'm in a bookshop, and it is this edition and it's nice and floppy, I'm gonna just pick it up and add it to the shelf. Really enjoying Wheel of Time, as we all know. Really looking forward to reading the 4th book, and now the 5th book, especially with it. Look at that. We love a floppy paperback in this house, as I've said many times. So those are all the books that I was sent and that I purchased. But I do have one more thing to show you guys, which is one I hinted at earlier, which is, unfortunately, a very crushed Page Wick box. So I'm pretty certain the inside isn't damaged, because it feels quite intact. but the box was definitely not treated well by the Every courier. So I've literally not opened this. The seal is even still on, so I'm going to unwrap this and we will react to the book, because while I did look up some clues as to what the book was going to be, to know whether I should or should not skip the book, I ended up, so I knew that this one was going to be a romantasy, and I've never read a romantasy book. Now, I do enjoy the odd rom-com every now and then, so in my mind I was like, maybe I will actually enjoy a romantasy book, and I thought, why not take a punt on one and support the lovely guys at Page Wick, who seem to be really, really nice people, really friendly, and I like their Instagram presence and all that sort of jazz. And also I was like, well, I've signed up for these guys. I won't just skip every single one that I'm not 100% sure that I will like. So what I thought was I would take a punt on this one, and then if I do like romantasy, hey, that opens up an entire huge half of fantasy literature. So I don't know how many of those I'll be reading, but I have seen that Ian Goobely really enjoyed Sarah J. Maas's stuff when he was reading them recently. Akatar, I think you read, so maybe I'll read Akatar. I don't know. Tutor Ramble have just done a review of it, so maybe I'll watch their video, and if it sounds like something I'm into, maybe I'll read it. So without further ado, let's look at this box. So we have this lovely thingamajig, postcard, which tells you the theme. The theme is Tethered by Blood. And there's a nice little thank you. And then on the back, it tells you what the book is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap it, and we can have this lovely experience together. So one of the really exciting things about Page Wick is that they recently, so as you guys know, they do candles. That's like their whole thing, is they do a candle and a book. But they recently gave me the option to go down to just the book and save a bit of money. And because I hate candles, and my wife is even more against it, and we gave away the last candle, it's been quite nice to not have to pay for that extra, £5 to get the candle. So that's all I've got this time, is this book. It's a real nice looking book. I'm going to tell you guys that now. So let me do the reveal. This is Sky of Fire by Madeline Carr. Again, I know nothing about this book. So this Page Wick edition has an exclusive cover and paper artwork designed by Clue D Art, a digitally sprayed forage designed by Alicia's World. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced that. With a block sprayed top and bottom edge, as well as full colour design with foil embellishments on the hardcover and dust jacket by the in-house designer. So, first off, looks like we've got like a cool elf guy with a scar. Lots of interesting looking characters. We've got someone with heterochromia on the bottom here. They've got a green eye and a blue eye. Let's have a look. So that sprayed edge is very nice. I thought the sprayed edge was very good on the E.J. Doble book that I got last time, whose title does escape me. But let's open this bad boy up. Okay, so exiled from her home, Alia, a half witch, half fae, conceals a deadly magic in her father's sun-drenched empire. Seeking freedom from the shackles of royal life, her fae half-sister Sarah leads them to the free city of Nazra. But when rebellion strikes, their world is shattered. Amid the chaos, the bearer of death lurks in the shadows, bound to kill for his cruel king. His job is simple: assassinate the witch, Alia Feralis. But an unforeseen rogue magic has other plans. After accidentally binding her life to the Fey assassin who tried to kill her, Alia must survive as a new recruit in the brutal guild of Kruor. Meanwhile, Sarah searches for refuge and freedom in the most prestigious siren house in Varian, where beauty is both addictive and deceiving. As the sisters face separate paths, their brother, Adrian, born and raised to be the emperor, will do anything to find them, including venture into the rebellion. But as a greater evil emerges, only the fates will decide who lives and who dies. So interesting that this book was pitched as romantasy, but romance is not mentioned at all in that in the blurb. And let's have a look at anything on the back here. Just a description. So Madeline, apparently she's an English author who loves slow burn romance, in-depth characters and tragic backstories. So that's exciting. I will definitely look her up after this and see what she's been up to book-wise. So having a look at the cover, so I really like this cover here. So the book is called Sky of Fire, but obviously this is like a fake in-world book. So this says A Witch's Grimoire Spell Compendium, and it says A Witch's Grimoire on the spine, and then on the back, Vocare, the art of using mental imagery to conjure a temporary gateway between two places. So already we're getting some portal fantasy, maybe interesting stuff happening. There's also this lovely end paper, which is, I just had to look at the screen to make sure that you guys could see it, and that's replicated on the back as well. And then we do have a lovely signature page. Great signature, Madeline, big fan, kind of similar to my own, where it's just 2 letters and a bit of a squiggle. Yeah, this one looks interesting. Oh, here we go. Oh, so there's a little, this is nice. There's a little letter from Maddie to us. Well, me, because I'm the Page Wick reader. You guys aren't the Page Wick reader, unless you've also got one. We've got a cool map. Yeah, looking forward to reading this one. I do like the chapter head artworks. They all look really nice. I've seen quite a few different ones. Yeah, this is another book I'm interested to read. I really need to read Fangs of Something, I think it was the E.J. Doble book. Annoyingly, it is literally the one book on my bookshelf that I cannot see the spine because the door for the bookshelf is in the way. But this Skyfire will be joining it on the bookshelf. I might ask my wife if she wants to read it as well, because romantasy might be something that I think she would really enjoy. She's got a copy that she's about to start of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I will probably also read, as I've been trying to kind of get her into fantasy a little bit over the last couple of years that I've been reading more and more epic fantasy. But yeah, so that's a real good haul, I think. So yeah, there's some stuff on the back as well. One night can set the world ablaze. The artwork is really, really nice. Interestingly, so this one says Page and Wick exclusive on the back here, but the E.J. Doble one had it on the spine, and I was kind of hoping that they would all line up and be like, all the spines would be the same, like they were as part of a collection. The spine design is similar to the E.J. Doble one, but again, doesn't have Page and Wick on the spine, which is a bit disappointing. But, you know, I can see why some people wouldn't want to broadcast their, like, subscription thing that they're paying for, I guess. Yeah, great quality book as previous. And I think last time my copy was very slightly bashed, and that absolutely is not the case. I mean, you've seen how bashed that box was, and it was wrapped in that papery stuff and a bubble bag, and it's in like literally perfect condition. Zero complaints at all on this one. So yeah, looks like a great book, or at least is a lovely addition. So, have you read any of these books? I'm sure a lot of you guys have read the Wheel of Time books, so, you know, don't spoil me on those because I haven't read them yet. But if there's anything you guys want to chat about, if there's any books that you've bought recently that you want to talk to me about or to recommend to me, then please do so down in the comments. Please like this video if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Every little subscription helps, and we're now on that we're on that grind to get to 1,000 subs, because when we get to 1,000, that's when YouTube starts paying me for making videos, I can use that money to buy more books and do more book hauls. So if you like book hauls, subscribe. It costs you nothing and is massively beneficial for me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll speak to you tomorrow.